Yeah. Hey, what is up? Living off the edge like a barber lining up. Just another day and another dollar, bruh. I'm dialing in, just count it up. Another win.
All right, welcome into the Eastern Michigan Eagles Dynasty. We are heading into week 3 after a thrilling upset of number 5 Alabama, which has led us to be ranked number 21. And even though Oklahoma won 40-6, they fall to number 2 in the country. And we are going to be heading to Norman to take them on there. So that'll definitely be a challenge. So let's take a look at Oklahoma's roster.
Roster breakdown.
At quarterback, they've got sophomore pocket passer Torian Owens, and he is backed up by Will Butler, a true freshman who's already an 81. Their halfback is Jamar Miller, a junior out of Chickasha, Oklahoma. He's backed up by Mark Jefferson. At fullback, you've got Travis Ruffin, an 80 overall freshman fullback. Where do you find those guys? I thought all fullbacks were like 1 stars. And at wide receiver, the man, the myth, the legend, wide receiver Josh Hammond, a 99 overall from Park Ridge, Illinois. They'll have their hands full with him. Then there's also Jason Green, Ryan Wilson, Aaron Gibson, Lonnie Harvey, Sean Burks, Eddie Cohn, a freshman, and sophomore Damon Harrington. At tight end, you've got Cedric Odom, a senior. He's a 90 overall. He's backed up by Chip McMahon. On the offensive line, Brian Glover, a 93 overall left tackle. David Simpson, an 82 overall left guard. At center, you've got Dan Lawrence, and he's a 92 overall as just a sophomore. At right guard, Jeff Carter is a 97 overall. He is injured, though. Right tackle, Richard Mayhew, a 91 overall. There's also Drew Robinson, a fellow 91 overall senior. On the defensive line, you've got Chase Gilbert, junior 91 overall. Donald McIntyre, senior 90 overall. Brad Kidd backs him up. In the middle, you've got Marcus Carter. He's a beast, 96 overall, 6'6", 311 pounds. And Eddie Marquard. So really tough interior defensive line. Philip Howe is a 90 overall, and he's only a sophomore. At left outside linebacker, you've got Bernard Pace setting the pace as a 94 overall. Middle linebacker, Joseph Fontenot, only a 72 overall. Right outside linebacker is Maurice Martin. He's an 89 overall. In the secondary, Maurice Kinnery is a 93 overall. And Damon Phillips, a sophomore with 99 speed. Paul Hurst. Travis Henry. He is someone that we tried to recruit, and we were obviously unsuccessful. He's got 98 speed as a true freshman. That's nuts. At free safety, Daniel Fowler's a 95 overall. At strong safety, Brandon Allen, the senior, is also a 95 overall. This team looks better than Alabama, and they only have 1 kicker. They need to talk to Alabama, maybe borrow one of their 6. Their punter, though, is a 93 overall. I bet he's their kicker also. And that is the roster for the Oklahoma Sooners. We did see one of their guys was injured. Let's take a look at the injury report. Eastern Michigan, all clear, and it is just the Jeff Carter right guard PCL sprain, only out a week. He'll just miss the game against us, so lucky for us. And that is your injury report. All right, welcome into Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. This is 2015 Game 2 as number 21 Eastern Michigan takes on number 2 Oklahoma. And here you can see the Sooners come out, and they, of course, are led by Josh Hammond, the amazing, impeccable, outstanding unrivaled wide receiver. He's a 99 overall. And he's legit, folks. He's real legit. So he came back for his senior season. He's hoping to have a good one, and we're hoping that the Batavia Colliders can draft him. All right, we're getting the full pomp and circumstance of an Oklahoma Sooners game. There's the quarterback, Torian Owens, leading his men, and Ben Pershey will kick this one off, and we are underway. He's kicking to Hammond, and Hammond's a dangerous returner, so Pershey's able to get it into the end zone to shut it down. Aaron Gibson is in motion, and he gets the handoff. Doesn't get much, though. 2nd and 8. Owens with a short drop, and he gets that one out to number 82, Jason Green, the Green Machine. Back to pass again on first down. Lots of time, forever. But that one is batted away by Ted the Toolman Taylor. And now, 2nd and 10. Owens back to pass. Lots of time again. Gets that one off to Hammond. Hammond gets pushed around a little bit, but gets 8 yards. So 3rd and 2. Handoff this time goes to Jamar Miller, the running back. And he gets nowhere. He's stuffed. And Oklahoma will have to punt on their first possession. McKinley signals for the fair catch, and this one will go into the end zone. And now we see Robert Bonner with Mike Hicks behind him. Hicks finds a couple up the middle, maybe 3. 2nd and 7. The crowd affecting these receivers and this offense. Bonner to throw, and he's got Scott Riley bouncing off of tackles. Scott Riley, our tight end number 2. He's been here for the longest time. This is his 5th year in Ypsilanti, although, of course, they're in Norman right now, but you get my drift. Anyway, redshirted his freshman year. He's been here ever since. He's come a long way since those early days. Now we go to the other tight end, Andre Dixon, but that is just a gain of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 9. Bonner under center. He will hand to Mike Hicks. Finds a little bit of room on the right and picks up about 6 for Hicks. 3rd and 3. Bonner under pressure, and he throws that one right into a defensive lineman's face. So on 4th and 3, they'll go for it, given that they're near midfield. Bonner trying to pull his Bonner magic, where he gets people to jump off sides, but they're a little more disciplined than Alabama was. Nevertheless, he delivers this one to Justin Workman for the first down. New set of downs, and Hicks is not as fast as that linebacker. Whoa. 4-yard loss on that play. Bonner under pressure. Screen pass to Workman. They covered it up pretty well. Only a gain of 5. So 3rd and 9. And Bonner dumps this one off to Mike Hicks. He's not going to get the first down, and they're going to try a 60-yard field goal with Ben Pershey. Pershey, the freshman, lining it up right at the 50, and the kick is up, clangs in, good! Ben Pershey just hit a 60-yarder in his freshman year against number 2 Oklahoma, and he could care less. He's hardly bothered by it. No celebration. What a professional. So a 60-yard field goal gives the Eastern Michigan Eagles a lead. And that was Cole Jones batting that one down. So 2nd and 10, Torian Owens under center. And that's going to be a toss play out to Jamar Miller, and Brandon Greer tackles him. So 3rd and 3, Eagles looking to get him off the field. Here's another running play, and Miller loses a yard. And so that'll bring up a 4th and 4 as the quarter ends. So after 1, Eastern Michigan holds a lead, 3-0 on the road, thanks to this 60-yard field goal. Kick is away. McKinley is underneath it, and he will return it a little bit. And now on 1st and 10, they're going to hand to Hicks, And that hole closes quickly, so he only gains 2 yards. They bring in Chris Barrett to see if he can get any running room since Hicks seems to be struggling. Chris Barrett was their leading rusher last year. Bonner with time, back to throw, and that one just batted down by the defensive tackle. He was in the air forever. So Justin Cole will punt it away. And this one will bounce at the 10 and into the end zone for a touchback. Handoff goes to the fullback here. That's Travis Ruffin. And he gets about 2. And Torian Owens is going to throw that one out of bounds. So now we're at 3rd and 8. And Eastern Michigan is looking to get him off the field again. Handoff goes to the running back, who's got some running room, but it closes quickly, and Ted Taylor comes in to stop him. That'll make it 4th and 2 after the 5-yard rush, and they will punt it away. McKinley under this one, and Bubba McKinley tries to find some room on the right side. Not much there. So 3 minutes and 4 seconds left in the half. Bonner operating from under center. He's trying to quiet the away crowd. It did not work. But he's got Patrick Miles on the slant. And they're actually going to give him forward progress for a first down. So a pretty nice spot there. Chris Barrett tries the right side and picks up 3. And now we've got Charles Griffin in the game at running back. And he breaks a tackle and he's got a first down. So Mike Hicks, the overrated 4-star prospect, just doesn't have the acceleration to really get it done from the running back position. Perhaps he would have been better suited had we put him at wide receiver. But Chris Barrett has proven himself to be better. And looks like Charles Griffin is going to get a look here too early on. Griffin was a 1-star recruit, JUCO transfer. And what he's got is some speed and acceleration. So he kicks this one to the outside and falls forward for a first down. Coach Karande likes to see that kind of effort. Bonner with a play fake now to Griffin. And he's got Brett Andrews wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. And that's going to be a 10-0 lead for the Eastern Michigan Eagles. So they had to respect Charles Griffin's running acumen after the big first down. And Brett Andrews, he gets himself wide open. He's got a little speed, does Brett Andrews. 19-yard touchdown reception. So kick is up and through. And that's a 10-0 lead with 1 minute 19 seconds left in the half. Eastern Michigan will receive the ball in the second half, so if they can keep them off the scoreboard, that would be great. Jamar Miller gets it here, picks up 3. Owens back to pass, and they're going to say he got it away, but Ted Taylor was in his face, almost gets a sack there. 3rd and 7 with time, but he does not get the first down, and they will punt it away with a minute left. And now, if you've got a kicker that can hit a 60-yarder, then they have a pretty good chance of getting into scoring range here before the half. Bonner to pass. Pressure comes. Dumps it off to Griffin, who manages to stay in bounds. 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6. Check down to Griffin, and he's got a first down. So Charles Griffin coming in and making an impact here in the second quarter. Robert Bonner to throw, and he's got his man wide open. That's the tight end Andre Dixon. They're well within field goal range now, and now you're looking to see if they can make a touchdown out of this. Bonner barely gets it away, and that one's batted away. Dangerous pass into double coverage, although he lost a little oomph on it because he was getting hit. Griffin finds a little running room to the left and picks up 3, but that'll make it 3rd and 7. So Bonner to throw. He's got Patrick Miles open for a first down. And now it's 1st and goal with 14 seconds left. Play fake to Griffin. They're going to throw for it, and that's into coverage, batted down. 10 seconds left. Bonner with a quick drop, throws, and he's got Patrick Miles for the touchdown with just a few ticks on the clock left. They're going to go up 16-0 here, pending the extra point, and it'll be 17-0. Patrick Miles, another one-star transfer recruit. He had a great season last year, and now in his senior season, he's off to the races, doing a good job. So Karan Day with a keen eye for talent, even undiscovered talent like Patrick Miles. And I don't think anyone had this on their bingo card, that Eastern Michigan would be up 17-0 at halftime over Oklahoma, but that is where we are at. A great first half for the Eagles. They played excellent defense, 2 passing touchdowns for Robert Bonner, and a 60-yard field goal for Ben Pershey. The Oklahoma fans don't even know what to do with themselves. Oklahoma will have to kick it off here, and that one goes deep into the end zone, so McKinley will just down it for a touchback. Bonner comes in under center, and he drops back to pass, and that is a pick 6. He throws it out to the flat for Charles Griffin and didn't see the corner Phillips crashing down to intercept it. Phillips is that true freshman, and he's a good one. So Phillips with a pick 6, and suddenly this lead doesn't look so insurmountable. So just 7 seconds into the second half, and Oklahoma has scored a touchdown. So now Bubba McKinley will field this one, and the offense will go back onto the field hoping to avoid disaster. Bonner handing off to Griffin, and he is stoned in the backfield for a loss. There is a palpable shift in momentum here as Charles Griffin gets 2. They need to convert here, otherwise Oklahoma could get right back in this, and he misses on the dump off to Griffin, and now we see Justin Cole punting for the first time in this game, and that is to Hammond, who muffs it. Very un-Hammond-like. In real life, I'd never muff a punt like that. Never. All right, we've got a pass off, and that one looks to be to number 82, Jason Green, for a first down. And Owens under pressure, and he's got Hammond wide open. Stephen Wynn misplayed the ball, and that's a touchdown, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point game. Josh Hammond with a 55-yard reception, making us all forget about the muffed punt. Stephen Wynn, still only a sophomore, still showing some signs of inexperience at times. And a nice run there by Charles Griffin, but he looks to be injured, and just when we had something going with one of our guys, he gets hurt. Hopefully he'll be back in this one. So 2nd and 1. Eagles got to settle down, play their game. There we go. There is a first down to Gabe Swanson. A score here would help them rest a little easier, or they could get sacked for a 10-yard loss. Either way, both are probably equally good outcomes. And Workman gets crushed on the screen pass, and he's hurt. And all of a sudden, it's 3rd and 19. This second half has been a disaster for the Eagles so far. A deep pass going, and that is batted down. So Justin Cole comes out again. Let's see if Josh Hammond can secure this one. He can. Breaks a tackle on the Spinderella. Breaks another tackle. Another. And he is finally brought down. What a return for Josh Hammond. And now Owens drops back, and he's got number 87 open across the middle. That is Aaron Gibson for a first down. And Oklahoma is cooking in this third quarter. Here's a handoff to wide receiver Lonnie Harvey. So that's an interesting alignment that they've got going on. And Lonnie Harvey is back in the backfield again. Harvey is like the maybe 4th or 5th wide receiver, but they've got him lined up in the backfield. He's back there again on 3rd and 3. Gibson in motion, and they will hand to the wide receiver again. He's got lots of running room. Can they even get him? And he's finally dragged down by Dale Carroll, the corner freshman. And here he is again, and this time Sidney Smith is there to take him down, but they are at the 3-yard line.
Dead ball. Won't start on the offense. Still second down.
So they do manage to catch a break here with the false start. 2nd and 7. Ball is up, and he is tackled right away. So 3rd and 3. Fake, and this one goes out to Gibson, and he is going to score. So Aaron Gibson is tackled in the end zone by Tom Fleming, who's substituting in at left end here. But too little, too late for Tom Fleming. And now Oklahoma has come all the way back from down 17-0 with a 21-point third quarter. And Karan Day is just sick over there. At least I think he is. McKinley will take this one out of the end zone. He's got some blockers set up and a nice return that is likely going to be negated by this flag.
Holding on the receiving team.
They're going to get Carlton Brown, the 3rd-string tight end.
Still first down.
So they're going to start back at their 10. And Bonner will throw this one out to Patrick Miles. He's got the first down. And as the clock winds at the end of the third quarter, they're going long. That one's batted away. So 1 second left in quarter number 3. Down 21-17. Bonner almost gets sacked. They're going to say he threw that one away. But just a disastrous third quarter for the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Getting outclassed in every way by Oklahoma. Now on 3rd and 10. Let's see what Bonner can do with it. Goes up to Dixon, and Dixon drops it. So we're going to see the punter again, Justin Cole. Comes out, kicks this one to Hammond, who had just a crazy return last time. Not so lucky this time as Ted Taylor cleans up that tackle. So 1st and 10, they're going to hand it off to the running back, Jamar Miller. Gets about 1 there. Odom in motion. And they're going to go to the running back again. A spin move. Joel Harrison comes over to tackle him, and at least he injures him, so that's nice. So we might see Mark Jefferson in the backfield, and he does get the handoff. And he has a nice run, picking up 8. So that'll be 2nd and 2. Here comes the pressure, and manages to hold on inbounds for the first down. Incredible stuff. Oklahoma is definitely a good team. So another handoff to Mark Jefferson. He's spun down after a gain of 2. They run this hurry-up offense, so they call a lot of the changes at the line, and a nice play by Dale Carroll to stop him in the backfield. And now on 3rd and 12, they'll go long, and Dale Carroll is beaten. That is Jason Green, who got a step. So Dale Carroll made a great play to stop him for a loss, but then gave up the touchdown. Carroll's still learning. He's a freshman. He's got some speed, but he gets beat, and now with 2:45 left in the fourth, the comeback is looking very unlikely, especially since they've been able to get absolutely nothing going on offense here in the second half. McKinley will take this one out of the end zone, and we'll see if Eastern Michigan can get anything going. Bonner's going to chuck this one up. Can he get there? Workman does. He gets under it, but he is tackled by Kinnery. So he does not score. It's just what they needed, though. And they're going to go over the middle to Brett Andrews. 2:26 left. I got to hurry down to 2:06. Bonner back to pass, and he's going to get sacked. Not what they need. 3rd and 13. Trying to hurry back to the line. Bonner to throw, and that is Patrick Miles. And he is short, and he's injured. 4th and 2. No choice but to go for it here. They pitch it to Charles Griffin. And he's going to find the corner. A nice block by the fullback. This could have been... Oh, it just made it. Just made it. So, great play on the block. Great play on the run. And they're going to go for 2 to see if they can bring this to within 3. Bonner throws out to Gabe Swanson. And he's not going to make it. So Ben Pershey will try the onside kick as they are down 5. Onside kick is not successful. They do have all 3 timeouts. They got to try to stop them here. First play, they do stop the running back. And it looks like we've got Jamar Miller back in the game. But this is a handoff to Josh Hammond, and he picks up about 6 there. So 3rd and 5. They got to stop him one more time and burn that timeout. Does not hand off. This is thrown over the middle, and they do stop him. Aaron Gibson. They're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Pitch play, and Sidney Smith gets there. Turnover on downs. I can't believe they went for it there. I think they could have kicked a field goal. So Bonner still has a chance. Ooh, that was almost picked. Heading for Patrick Miles, and he was covered well. So 2nd and 10, less than a minute. Going long for Andre Dixon. He's got it. He comes down with it. They need to score. 50 seconds left. Bonner back to throw. He's got a man. No. Almost intercepted. So 2nd and 10. Don't turn it over. Get sacked instead. Great job. So 30 seconds left. Bonner. Ooh, another one dangerous. 4th and 16. This is it. This is the game. Bonner's going to go to Patrick Miles, who beats his man. Miles got around Kinnery. Maurice Kinnery gives up the touchdown. And they're going to take the lead. Look at this. Patrick Miles just gets by him. That was 4th and 16, folks. The Oklahoma crowd is stunned into silence. And now they will go for 2 in order to try to go up by a field goal. That one is to Brett Andrews. He's got it. And with only 21 seconds left in the game, Eastern Michigan has reclaimed the lead. What a crazy second half. And it looks like that man, Jason Green, had his guy beat, but couldn't get it to him. And Joel Harrison picks it off. That's going to be game, folks. They just have to burn 8 seconds, and they're going to come out of Norman with an improbable victory. Handoff goes to Charles Griffin, and he gets nowhere. They call timeout. 4 seconds left. They go to Griffin again. He's able to run out the clock. And Eastern Michigan has done it again. 2 games in a row to open the season against highly ranked teams. Coming back and winning in the final moments. This is one that they're going to remember for a long time, and there's your play of the game. 4th and 16, and Patrick Miles, overlooked, unwanted, 1-star JUCO transfer, and he's got the game-winning touchdown on 4th and 16. That is so clutch. Karan Day is 2-0, and he's taken down Alabama and Oklahoma. Oregon is next, and Robert Bonner, sophomore quarterback, our first 4-star quarterback recruit, with 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, that 1 pick 6. That was the only blemish on his record today. Charles Griffin was definitely our most efficient runner, averaging 4 yards per carry and scoring that touchdown that brought him back. Patrick Miles with 2 touchdowns on the day. Workman with that big 67-yard reception to get them close when they needed it. Andre Dixon had a pancake today. Don't see that too often. And on defense, the new right outside linebacker, Pat Robinson, had a bunch of tackles. No sacks for this defensive line today. 1 interception to seal the game for Joel Harrison. Cole Jones and Ted Taylor with the deflections. No fumbles. No turnovers were achieved by this defense, but they did play a solid game for most of the game. Third quarter was a little iffy for them, but other than that, a nice game all around for the defense. And let's not forget Ben Pershey hit a 60-yard field goal to open the game. Justin Cole was busy, especially in that second half. All right, what a game. Wow, an incredible win by the Eastern Michigan Eagles. When we were down 28-17, I thought, well, there's our first loss. But incredible game. Eagles are 2-0 and have just knocked off 2 top teams. Let's see how the other immersion owners are doing.
Immersion owners.
We'll start with Oregon at Wyoming. All right, the Oregon Ducks blank them 40-0. Jason Enright had 15 carries for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day, a long of 12. No broken tackles. He added 2 catches for 24 yards, and that was your day for Jason Enright. All right, after losing to a MAC team in Eastern Michigan, let's see if Alabama can beat Western Michigan. They win easily 45-7. Adam Franson completed 19 of 29 passes for 237 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. A long of 31, he was sacked 3 times. He carried the ball 10 times for 25 yards, and that's the day for Adam Franson. All right, let's see if a big win like that leads to better results in recruiting.
Recruiting.
All right, we're up to 6th place for wide receiver Jesse Garcia. All right, we pick up 355 points on Jesse Garcia. All right, we've scheduled a visit with punter Joe Jones for the Oregon game, and we get 396 points of interest. 338 points of interest for quarterback Ernest Luke as we're nipping on Maryland's heels to get him. All right, a tough call with Colt Mills. We get 218 points of interest. And here we have a great call with 4-star athlete Jabari Church getting 601 points in interest. 331 points of interest for corner Jameel Sharp. We get 260 points of interest for halfback Trey Johnson. 522 points of interest for halfback Bo Williams. 284 points of interest for defensive end Jameel Jones. 455 points of interest for defensive end Joel Burke.